Hey guys, my name is Max Convexity. I got my little dog Jackson with me. Have kind of a different video planned out for you guys today. So I picked up a ton of new subscribers thanks to my interview with Jay. I really appreciate him coming on the show with me. Um, but it occurred to me a lot of you guys haven't been with me since November. A lot of the people that have been with me since November have already used to the funny things I say and the different philosophies I believe with regards to investing. But a lot of the people probably think, who is this guy and what is he talking about? So I'm calling this Cliff Notes for Max or Max for Dummies or whatever. All right. So in the 90s, I was in wealth management and I used to specialize in covered calls, which is what these ETFs do, is covered calls. I love covered calls. I've charged people a lot of money as a broker to implement programs just like these ETFs are doing now for way less money. That's how I got fascinated in them. So I started then I kind of made my mark by starting to do something called profit boxes. And I'm going to show you an example of a profit box in a second. And also I made a spreadsheet, and from that spreadsheet, then I started predicting the Defiance's dividends. So that's kind of what I like to do. So who are these funds, these Defiance funds, YieldMax or JP Morgan or any of them? Who are they right for? The main thing, they're only right for people that don't already have a bunch of them. I wouldn't say you need any more than 10 or 20% in these. If you already have 50% of your money in these, that's fine, but you aren't a candidate to pick up any more. So it's somebody that doesn't already have 20%, and it's somebody that needs income, not just somebody that wants income. We all want income. Do you need income? When you use a strategy like this, you're getting current income, but you're sacrificing future growth, some future growth. You're getting some current income and trading for some future growth. Well, for most people, if you don't really need the income, it's better just to keep your money in future growth. This would be like if you had a house. If you had a house and you turned it into an Airbnb, it'd be great. You would you would have some current income, but the condition of your house after a couple of years would be more run down. You're trading future appreciation of your house, just assuming that the Airbnb people kind of tear it up or whatever. You're trading current income for future appreciation. Let's just say this, maybe a house in a neighborhood that's not an Airbnb will appreciate faster. So you're than a house that's maybe an Airbnb or something. Anyway, it's a similar philosophy. But the main thing is it has to be somebody that understands the way these work. And I'd say that's only about 1 in every 10 people. The dividend is paid out of the net asset value of the fund. These dividends are huge. So it looks like the net asset value of the fund is going down all the time, or once a month, it looks like it drops a bunch. Anyway, you have to understand how these funds work, and that has to not alarm you, because you have to realize, well, hey, the value of my fund dropped, but then the value of my bank account went up by the same amount. You're trading one asset for another. So, but a lot of people just don't get that, don't understand that, or don't even want to deal with that, and that's fine. These funds aren't for you, and they aren't for everybody. I would say about one out of every 40 people. So my general philosophies with regards to investing, my main philosophy is there's no such thing as free money. Money doesn't fall out of the sky. That's not a thing. And I also believe you can't time the market. Now, over the short term, yeah, you could say, hey, I think this week we're going to go down or something. Yeah, and a lot of people can time it over the short term, but I'm talking about planning for your retirement over the next 40 years. And over any appreciable period of time, there's been tons of studies on it. And the studies have always shown, or at least the ones I know have always shown, that timing the market is a fool's errand, is ineffective, and you make more money just by staying invested in growth stocks and allocating your assets correctly. So that is what I believe. But yes, for young people especially, you're best to buy and hold growth assets for the long term. What I like about these funds is I'm a math nerd, and when you do option selling strategies, you can use math to help you earn a return or to help you beat the market. That's really what I like. I do believe you can beat the market with math, but I don't believe you can beat the market because a moving average crossed over another moving average. or a stock hit a trend line, so you're going to sell when it gets there. It may work every once in a while, but I don't think that's a long-term way to succeed. But I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. A lot of people disagree with me on the timing the market thing, and that's fine. Jay said it best. Petrocelli said, he said, one thing you can count on in the market, and it's the way his funds are designed to make money. One thing you can count on is tomorrow comes after today. In other words, you can count on time passing. When you sell options, you're monetizing the passing of time. That's the kind of stuff I like. That's what these funds do. But as far as investing, like I say, as far as not being able to time the market, like I was fully invested through 2008, through 2001. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, everyone knew the market was going to go down in 2008. But even when you get out, when do you get back in? And also when you get out, if you've had stocks for a long time, like I have, remember I started investing in the late 80s. So by 2008, you'd have a huge tax bill. What are you going to do? Sell all your stocks because you think the market's going to crash and then wonder when you're wrong. Think to 2023. Think about this. 97 economists out of 100 or something predicted the 2023 recession. Well, guess what? 2023, the NASDAQ was up 50%. It was one of the best years to have stock. So, and these were experts. These are economists. They always say you never meet a rich economist, and that is true. But anyway, but I just believe in constructing your portfolio, and constructing your assets in such a way that you'll make money over the long run, and just try not to worry about the short-term fluctuations, or just stay invested. So, if that people always ask me, well, these funds are going to suck if the market goes down next year. Yeah, they're going to suck, but anything else you'd be invested in would suck also. I'm always invested. I'm not looking at buying these funds or maybe selling these funds and going on a vacation to Europe. No, I'm talking about what I'm doing with my investment money. When I say I like these, I mean with my money that is dedicated to be invested. I don't believe in YOLOing and stuff like that. Now, okay, I do realize though, because these funds have such high dividend rates, there are people trading these that are actually trading them and are trying to get in and out and stuff like that. And so a lot of the advice that I talk about doesn't apply to them. That's a different thing. If you want to put all your money in these funds, and try to, and maybe do it for a year and hope the market doesn't crash in the next year and hope you make, that's fine. But at that point, you're gambling. I'm talking about allocating assets. When you allocate assets, generally the way it's done is you have a certain percentage in growth or equity, stocks and that kind of stuff. It's usually 60%. And then you have 40% of your assets in income producing assets. Those in the old days, those used to be bonds and dividend stocks, regular dividend stocks, and real estate investment trust. And it still is. But nowadays, these are just another option. I think these go in the same, or appropriate for the same part of your portfolio that the bonds and the real estate investment trust and what I would call a typical dividend stock is. Now, a typical dividend stock, like say Coca-Cola, they pay the dividend out of their operating, income. These dividend ETFs, they're paying money out of their option selling activity. So they're different, but there's nothing wrong with regular dividend stocks. They're great things to invest in as well. But I think these are in the same class as those. And the only reason I never talk about other stuff, the reason I emphasize these investments so much is because this is the kind of investment I understand. If I had been in commercial real estate my whole life, and then retired, my YouTube channel might be about, commercial real estate. But since I'm an option trader, my YouTube channel is going to be about options and trading options. And so these ETFs are a really great place to start. They're introducing a whole new group of people to options. And it's really fun there's a whole new group of people I can talk about options to now, thanks to these funds coming out. Okay. So speaking of that, let's talk, how does the profit box work? Okay. This is kind of what made me, this is kind of how I got knowing was for these profit boxes. And a lot of people told me they really helped them understand how options work. So let's take a look at a typical profit box. First of all, we have to start with the spreadsheet. I'd have to show you how to read a spreadsheet. So I've already done the trade for tomorrow. Tomorrow's April 1st. And I've already done it for JEPY. So these guys trade SPX options. Okay. The first line is the number of contracts, 266. They sold 266 contracts at the strike price, 52.65. That's going to come in when we look at the profit box in a second. All right, they sold this option for, we're going to call it 21 to make the math easy. So they sold the option for 21 bucks, right? All right, so 21 minus 52.65. 52.65 is the max profit. They received $21. So 21 minus 52.65 is the minimum profit or the break even. So that comes to 52.44. Okay. So those are the two numbers that we're rooting for in the SPX tomorrow. We want the SPX to at least be at 52.44, and then we make a max profit if it's at 52.65. Okay, so let's look at what an actual profit box looks like. All right, so I've already drawn this profit box. The empty profit box is for Monday. Okay, the market closed right here on Friday at about 52.55, right? Okay, now these guys sold the 52.65 strike. So the top line is at 52.65, representing max profit and the strike price. The bottom line is representing the break even. Anything under the bottom line is a loss. Where you can see where these put we don't know what the market's going to do, right? I don't believe in market timing. But I have this box right here, and as long as the market lands somewhere in this box or above, I make money. When you sell options, generally you make money about 2 times out of 3. In this case, the market could go up a lot and you would make money. It could go straight sideways and you would make money. It could go up a little and you'd make money. It could go down a little and you'd make money. You only don't make money when you're selling options in this manner. These are covered calls or short puts, but whenever the market goes down, and not only goes down more than than whatever your strike price plus whatever you got was. So the strike price is 52.65. You got 21 bucks. So you have to fall. The market has to fall under 52.44. So this is like running a race, and we're going to run a 50-yard dash, and I'm going to start 30 yards into the race and you're going to start back at the start. I'm going to beat you every time because I have a huge head start. That's the theory, or that's kind of what happens when you sell options. All right, so I talk about this on a daily basis, and if you watch my channel, you'll pick up on a lot more stuff, and there's a lot more stuff I probably didn't explain. But every day when I'm looking at my spreadsheet, what a lot of people get from my spreadsheet is they get the numbers that they want the market, the SPX, to be at. We want it to be at 52.65 or at least no lower than 52.44. Okay, so that's good. Then this sheet also tells you how much money does the fund make if that happens. We'll just use Friday's example. So on Friday, the fund made $327,000. They were going for a total profit of $344, but they only made $327. Well, why is that? Well, let's look real quick. We'll look back at Friday. Okay, so this was the day before. Remember, the top line is max profit, and it's hard to see, but they finished just under the top line there, right? So if the market would have finished there, it would have been max profit, but they got a good profit, but not they got a good profit, but not max profit. And so we can certainly see they were trying to get, like I say, they were trying to get 344. They ended up at 327. Well, that's great. Well, then you can go across the line. This right here is a running total of how much money the fund's made for the month. This is how much money earnings per share the fund's made for the month. And right here, this is the dividend estimate, 55 cents, which I believe is what they paid, or I don't know. I'll have to look into that. But anyway, my estimator was close, but this little thing runs an estimate every day. When I'm giving these results, you can always look up here, and this runs an estimate of what the likely distribution payment will be towards the end of the month. All right, as you can see, my computer's running out of batteries, and that's fine. because I've spoken long enough. I just wanted to talk about some of the basic things I believe as far as not being able to time the market and allocate and not trying to jump in and out of the market to miss bear markets. I don't know if a bear market's coming. I mean, I know one's coming sometime, but I don't know when it's coming. Let's just say that. Like I said, if I would have jumped out of the market in 2023 when I heard all those economists predicting a recession, I mean, the Nasdaq's up 50% since then. So that my theory is there's no free money. No one knows anything. These funds are good investments for about 1 out of every 20 to 1 out of every 40 people. If you're somebody that falls in that group of 20 to 40 people, whatever, please keep watching my channel. If you have questions, ask me. I don't only do profit boxes. I also review funds, and I'm doing a really good review and comparison between 2 funds right now. Hopefully that video will be out by the end of the day, but I'm working on that right as we speak. Anyway, guys, it looks like it's kind of looking like it's about to rain out here. It kind of got chilly. Anyway, you guys have a good day, and I will talk to you later.